Church, good morning. Saturday morning, daily devotion for today. Question, do you have any daffodils in your yard? You know, pretty green stem, petals, then they get bright yellow. They're beautiful, but did you know this? They're toxic. They're poisonous. So if you have a daffodil in your yard and your dogs are chewing on them, toxic. If you got a little kid, they put them in your mouth, toxic. There's things in life that look beautiful, but they're toxic. Here's why I bring this up. We're starting a new series tomorrow for church services called Toxic, Healing Poisonous Relationships. Because here's the truth. A lot of us look good on the outside, but deep inside of us, under the surface of what we present to people, we're toxic. And I know it's tempting to say, hey, we're going to do this series called Toxic, Healing Poisonous Relationships. And you're thinking of all the poisonous people, the toxic people that you know. Well, I would encourage you, invite them tomorrow morning to watch either in person at the church or online. But let's start with this. Let's start with us. Here's where we're taking this series from. It's in the book of Galatians. We left off on this verse actually last week. It said this, "For the entire law is fulfilled in keeping this one command. Love your neighbor as yourself." And that's our goal, to love people just the way Jesus described, to love them as we love ourselves already. But the problem is this, we can't love people in a healthy way if we're toxic. It goes on in the very next verse, verse 15. "If you bite and devour each other, watch out or you'll be destroyed by each other." Toxic people, we erode, we poison, we take away from, we diminish when we're toxic. And so when we are toxic inside, it affects the relationships around us. So here's where we're going to head. We're going to spend probably a month taking a look at what toxic relationships look like. But let me give you a little hope in the midst of this. There's an antidote to the toxic nature of our soul. And the antidote is actually Christ in us. If you keep on reading this morning, it says, "So I say, walk by the Spirit and you will not gratify the desires of the flesh." That's connected to being what's toxic. There's desires in us that are toxic. But he says, walk by the Spirit of Jesus Christ that lives in you. There's an antidote. The antidote to the toxic nature of our soul is Jesus. We're going to talk more about that tomorrow. For today, though, read Galatians 5, verse 14, to the end of the chapter, and Paul starts articulating what are the actual toxins that live in us. We're going to pick this up tomorrow morning, but read it today and start asking the question, God, is there something toxic that lives in me? And how can Jesus be the antidote to that? I bet you know some people who would actually benefit from this series. Invite them tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock in the parking lot. God bless you.